Well, Stuart, everybody else, come on in and see my work in progress. Now, I know not too long ago I showed you my living room, how I had rearranged some furniture, and I promised to show you what it looks like decorated for the holidays. Now, this is definitely a work in progress, which leads me to my question of the day that I don't want to forget, because this one is meaningful to me. So obviously, I guess our deadline for Christmas decorating is Christmas Day. But for me, every year there seems to be one pivotal date that I really want to have all of the magic in place. And this year it's December 17th when my son Johnny comes home from Singapore. I haven't seen him in 2 years. So boy, do I want everything to just be perfect for him, nostalgic and wonderful. So that's kind of my deadline date this year. And my question of the day is, what is your kind of deadline date that you want to have your house completely festivized by? Or even if you're not doing a lot, is there one date during the holiday season that's really meaningful to you that will define the holidays and the Christmas season for you in particular? So for me, it's December 17th. Make sure in the comments below to let me know what your really special day is this year. It'll be fun to read. And like I say, I do read you guys' comments. Oh, one more thing I want to do a shout out. I just now opened this. Look at this precious little ornament, personalized ornament. It says Vater. I just got this in the mail. And it is from booth 63, and it came with a really sweet Christmas card that, by the way, matches my color thematic for the year, which is just going to be red, white, and silver for this Christmas. And this comes from Susan Boyles, who I feel like is a friend of mine because we have really been in touch via social media for a very long time. And she said that she had recently started watching me on YouTube thanks to a friend, but I recognize that name, Susan Boyles, so I think it must bleed over into Instagram or something. Whatever the case, Susan, thank you. That was so sweet. And this will definitely hang in a place of honor this year. I love personalized things. So let me kind of describe a little bit what I have done so far, but also share with you that, and Stuart might, I don't know, Stuart, can we maybe put a little bit of when everything was in a chaotic state, because I've just done a lot of painting downstairs. I repainted my kitchen and I repainted my dining room, my red dining room, and I want to show you how it looks. You can kind of get a glimpse of it in the distance. But first, let me talk about my Christmas decorations. I think when I showed you how I had rearranged things, moving some upstairs stuff downstairs and vice versa, that's what it looked at that point in time. I've continued to tweak it. Some things kind of didn't feel right, and you have to live in a place for a little while, I think, till you get it the way you want it to be and that fits your lifestyle. So a couple of things. I moved the couch over this way and that. I switched out this table here, this drop leaf wooden table. It used to be in my morning room in the entryway, and I had a chest under here, and I've swapped places with those, and I like it a lot better, if for no other reason than practicality, because that bureau has drawers. So now I can keep in that room all of my hats, gloves, cold weather, if it ever turns cold, attire and things of that nature right there in the entryway. And then when I get ready to put more of my topiaries and things on this table after Christmas, I'll be able to expand it. Plus it's a little bit narrower, a little bit shorter to help me accommodate my Christmas tree, which I have just put up and I am in the process of decorating. I have to make several more treks down to the basement for lights and for some other things, but not a lot more is going to go on because it's going to be very simple this year. I think I told you that I've been trying to streamline some things, and I don't want to diminish the beauty of my newly rearranged room by having it overwhelmed with too much other stuff. Here's another little trick, you guys. So I'm a huge fan of these bamboo campaign tables. And by the way, campaign furniture is that which is furniture that used to be taken out in the field on military campaigns, and they would use it because it was very easy to set up, set down. Anyhow, it's got a very distinct look to it. And I use these campaign tables in a number of different places. They come, I get them off of Amazon, and they come in different finishes. Now these came, I wanted brass in here. This brass, I decided, was just a little bit too brassy. So here is a tip, you guys. I'm going to tone it down with one of my favorite products. I'm sorry, Stuart, I'm moving too fast for you. I'm not very organized. But I'm going to give it a little bit of a coat of this Brie wax. I also get this on Amazon, and Stuart and I will make sure to provide you links. Also, you guys, if you can't see the links up above, please know that they're in the descriptions. And if we forget, we've got a lot going on. If we forget to ever include the link, all you have to do is send a comment, and one of us will give you the link directly. But this Brie wax is wonderful. It comes in different shades, and I actually have 2 projects that I'm going to be Brie waxing this weekend. One is I'm going to darken up and age a little bit these campaign tables, one of which I moved over here, and then I moved my larger table over here. I just kind of was getting my feng shui right. Isn't that right, Stuart? I was just kind of moving some things around till I got it the way I wanted. The wreath that used to be the Together Weather campaign that I did with terrain, the wreath that I showed you on my back door is now front and center on my mantle, and I just added a couple of white pine cones, and I will be putting more little gifts that color coordinate and some color coordinated candies and candy canes and things inside the stockings. And then I will just have the smaller gifts probably on the mantle. I've got to dust off my mantle, and I'll just have wrapped gifts in and around the mantle itself. This little fireplace, it does work. We don't use it a lot. If I ever use it during the holiday season, it's set on very, very low, and we never have it turned on unless we set a timer to remind us to turn off. So that is that. So here's one of my tips. I love those little campaign tables. They were on sale for $68. I think they're also on my Christmas list, aren't they, Stuart? They come in black, galvanized metal, and that brass color, but they're the perfect little side table. Tea tables, all sorts of things. You can easily move them in or out, and Brie wax for them and anything you want to darken up. Okay, here is something that I threw together last night, and I'm sure some of you are going to say, oh, I wish you would have shown us the whole project. But a lot of times I'm just playing and I don't really know that something is going to turn into a project until it's done. So that is my rationale sometimes for showing you what something looks like after it's finished versus in process, because I don't know it's going to be a project to begin with. So I have a wonderful cake stand set, a bone china 4-piece Horchow cake stand set that I got from my mom years ago, and it has been pressed into use so many different ways. And I saw it. I love anything that's on a pedestal. And I had a styrofoam ring that had just kind of been in my craft stuff for a while, and I realized it was the perfect diameter of this cake stand and this portion of that 4-tier cake stand in particular. Now, I used a circular piece of styrofoam, but you could use anything. In fact, the other day I did a project where I used some of the styrofoam packing that was in a TV box, and I used it and I just cut it into shape. That way I didn't have to buy it. I seldom buy it. It's usually residual from a flower arrangement I've gotten or some kind of project. I seldom buy it, but often I have it that I save and use to recycle for these kinds of things. So I just took some florist tape to secure it, and I have intentionally not filled it really, really well because I wanted you to see. Stuart, can you at all see? It's so dark, I'm sorry. Can you see that the green styrofoam in there? Okay, so you can see that all I did then was just take, this is nothing but some dried eucalyptus seed heads. This is actually from last year. I saved it. I had used it from another project, and I had spray painted kind of a silvery pearlescence, and so I didn't want to throw it away. I didn't want to discard it. It actually had all been in a vase upstairs. So I took the components of that vase apart, and I just started sticking it into that styrofoam, and it took a matter of minutes. I just went around the circumference. Now, if you are from any distance and I didn't point it out to you, there's no way you would see the styrofoam that's in there. So I wanted to keep it kind of airy, so I didn't make some of the foliage and the materials too concentrated. But then I put some white tipped pine cones in here. I have some magnolia seed pods in here. Let me torque this, Stuart, so you can see. Here's a magnolia pod. I've got some silver pine cones that I spray painted that I've saved from one year to the next. Then I had some dried pomegranates, and I just put half of a chopstick in the bottom of those, and then that helped me secure it to that styrofoam round. And then I added just a couple of inexpensive silver baubles in there to catch the light. And this is kind of my thematic, is this pomegranate red and bright redded silver and white. That's going to be my color thematic for this year. Now, I had some of these candle holders that I got from Terrain, and I believe on Amazon they have some similar ones that hold, they've got a stake on them. And so this stake can just be secured into whatever, and in this case it's into the styrofoam. Now they also, you can sometimes also find them and they hold little tea lights, or they hold 2-inch pillar candles. These hold tapers, and I believe there's something equivalent on Amazon. Last year I showed them and somebody kindly in the comments put a source. So you could do that, and actually you could probably also just put the candles almost directly into the styrofoam. Now you say, okay, but this is going to be a fire hazard. True that, it will be a fire hazard. So right now, in addition to my dried pomegranates, oh, I didn't point out the dried rose hips that are in here. Some of these are from my garden. Talk about garden-inspired living. Some of these are from my garden. Some of them are from a flower arrangement I got last year. I dried them, I saved them, and these are here, and they're in other appointments, and will also be on some of my Christmas gifts this year. So back to my candles and the fire hazard. These are placeholders right now until I get some battery-operated tapers that will take their place and won't be so dangerous. But even when it's not lit right now, I think it looks just beautiful, and there is light reflection from the little baubles. So I really like that. Even my candies are color coordinated. So I have Dove dark chocolate is my favorite, so even my candies are color coordinated, and pretty much most edibles, candies, and such will be color coordinated. Now, right now at my house, I always have things like a nut jar, and over the holidays I have little dishes of candy set out. Stuart in particular appreciates that, as does Hubs and really anybody who comes by. But right now, because I'm not in the midst of a dinner party or having friends over, anything of that nature, I just have wrapped candies out. Now, when it gets closer to the big day, when my son is home, when his friends are coming in and out, when guests are coming in and out, I'll bring out those other tiers of this cake stand, and I will have them here filled with all sorts of other goodies. They'll be filled with some of my homemade toffee, with some other fun chocolates I've got, with some white chocolate covered pretzels, things of that nature. No exposed dark chocolate probably near my white sofa. But they will be here, things that are out and exposed to the air when other people come and go. And then I'll have some little party napkins and things here. So this will be kind of not only a book table, but a sideboard of sorts. And I just realized I really need to clean this up. Like I say, I've been an elf, and so things are still in a state of just messiness. But I kind of wanted to show you what it looked like midstream. So that's an idea. Here's another idea that is kind of corny, but nevertheless, I like to do it. And that is around the holidays, during special times of year, whenever I have my ice water, I drink lots of seltzer waters, things of that. Instead of my regular old thermal mugs or my Yeti or whatever it is that I'm drinking out of, I get really nice glasses out and I use them, even for myself, just as I'm roaming around in the course of the day. And my special glasses I will keep out on a tray where I can grab them at any point in time, and I appreciate their decorative contribution in the process. Now, I hope you watched yesterday's video where I went to Mockingbird Manor, because you guys, I stole so many great ideas from there, and one of them was that I need to remember to get out some of my beautiful silver trays. It's a little joy of the season to give them a polish, put some beautiful glassware on that doesn't get used otherwise, and have it set out for any and everyone, for just everyday use. If one of them breaks, I'm sorry, but that's the hazard of using what you have, which is all part, I hope you guys know by now, is all part of my brand. Use what you have, whether they're big words or fancy crystal or china. If you've got it, use it. You know, if you're saving it for another occasion, what's more occasional than the fact, or what more celebratory than the fact that we're all here today? So that's my little soapbox. So get out your pretty glasses and use them. This time of year, I really, really recognize the importance of having Well, here's my outfit of the day. I'm a little bit more decked out than I normally am because I went to an early birthday lunch with a friend of mine. My earrings, what earrings do I have on? Oh, these are those wonderful mille fleur earrings from Orchard Jewelry, Janet Mavick. Those are on my Christmas list. Just go to lindavater.com, hit shop, and it'll show you all the recommendations on my Christmas list. My fun polka dot sweater is Tahari, and I got it at Nordstrom Rack. My white shirt is my staple that I wear with everything. It's one of those sleeveless white blouses with a pop-up collar that I like to wear under sweaters. And today, I'm really glad that it doesn't have sleeves because it's getting up to 80 degrees today, Stuart, and it's already kind of too hot to have a sweater on. My breeches are from one of my favorite clothing stores in the Paseo district called Eden. They are pleather. They're just ankle-length flares. My booties, my hubs told me I looked like an elf this morning because my booties, my red booties are pointed, and these I believe I got at Nordstrom Rack years ago. My bracelet is from Hubs. My little coin pinky ring was a gift from my mother-in-law on a birthday many, many years ago. So, and just an assortment of bracelets. So there you go. There's my outfit du jour.